Hello, and a very good afternoon. Thanks for tuning into CNN News 18. I'm Kritsween Valia, and an exclusive news break that we're tracking for you. We're learning that the Human Rights Watch has written to Jay Shah while demanding that the men's team in Afghanistan be suspended, not be allowed to play until the women's team is permitted to play. According to the press release by the Human Rights Watch, or the HRW, women's team is equally keen to be recognized and wants to play internationally. The Taliban, remember, have banned all sports for women and girls, has closed sports training centers, and has also threatened women athletes. They want ICC to accept international norms and provide equal opportunity to all. So this is an appeal that's now going in. The ICC, they say, should immediately suspend Taliban-run Afghanistan's membership until women and girls can participate in the sport of cricket. So this is an appeal that's gone out by the Human Rights Watch. They've penned this letter to ICC Chair Jay Shah, and the letter's now gone public, and this is the latest as far as CNN News 18 is concerned. An exclusive input we've managed to track is we've accessed this letter, which has now been penned by the Human Rights Watch. I want to go across to Anand Narasimhan, who joins us with more details. Anand, the view of the HRW is that it's quite unfair that women, while they're talking about wanting to play, be recognized internationally, aren't being allowed to, and men, in fact, have participated in the ongoing Champions Trophy.
Yes, there is, and the Afghan women's team is quite a solid team. It's not, before the Taliban took over in 2021, the women's team was doing much better and making quite an impact, and especially Afghan women across multiple disciplines, not just as career women. But the point is that the Taliban's diktat has been that they have been against women working and women playing and women being outdoors. So Minky Warden, director of global initiatives at the Human Rights Watch, has said that the International Cricket Council's silence on Taliban's discriminatory prohibition on Afghan women and girls playing sport shows a disturbing disregard for fundamental human rights. Now the ICC, whose president is Jay Shah, now will have to take this into cognition and see how they are going to work with, because there is a diplomatic angle to this too. Because the Taliban have imposed policies where women and girls are barred from not just sport but also secondary higher education, also from employment, and there is a huge curbing of women. Now, sources close to Taliban say that the decisions have to be taken by the elders at Kandahar. They have a shura, there is a jirga or a council of elders. They have to first take a call on this, because they generally have been against women working and playing. Now, if the Taliban do amend those rules, and if the council does take a forward and a progressive approach, it will go a long way in also somewhere getting certain level of legitimization of the Taliban and their rule in Afghanistan and also the world over. You would see a lot of nations think about the possibility of diplomatic engagement with the Taliban-run government there, despite not wanting to recognize it, if they take a step that is progressive and also on the lines of what Mohammed bin Salman had espoused the other day, the Sheikh of Saudi Arabia, the King of Saudi Arabia, who said that Islam has to move away from its regressive and very, very strongly fundamentalist mentality, and we have to embrace a modern, far more malleable and progressive approach to Islam if we have to prosper together as in humanity together. So I think if that is taken into consideration, and if the ICC and somewhere the Indian diplomatic channels also weigh in, it's the wisdom of the shura that now will have to be seen, because there is turmoil within the Taliban too, with the entire Pakistani-driven Haqqanis losing, there being a huge fallout between the Kandahari Taliban versus the Pakistani-backed or the Haqqani Taliban. So there are two factions there too, and there is some leadership struggle. So any progressive position taken may perhaps give strong leverage to the Kandahari Taliban to be able to further strengthen their hold and control in Afghanistan.
That's one important aspect that you're bringing to us, Anand. But what about the women's cricket team? We're learning through several reports that the team is pretty much intact still. Of course, this order was passed when Taliban took over back in 2021. Ever since, all sports stands banned for women and girls in the country. But they have been in hiding, and we're being told that they're also keeping up with their practices because their aim is to be recognized internationally like the men's cricket team.
See, the men's cricket team also, most of them ply their wares out of Afghanistan. They're based in Dubai, they're based in Doha, they're based in other places in and around Afghanistan, but not necessarily in Afghanistan. So similar with the women's Afghan team. And clearly they would want to come back into the sport, and they will be only welcomed with open arms, and they will only bring a certain level of challenge. There is huge amount of talent too, and they do ply their wares in some of the domestic leagues across the world. But the point is that unless they get international cricket, they won't get world recognition. And this is a huge diplomatic challenge also for Afghanistan. So the Shura or the Jirga there, they have to now do it in the larger interest, not just of Afghan women who are highly empowered, educated, capable, and who can truly contribute towards the growth of Afghanistan, but also from the diplomatic standpoint that nations will start looking at Taliban from a different prism the moment they become a little more progressive and then they alter their approach.
Okay, many thanks, Anand, for getting us all of those very important details.